Well, I guess it only took less than a day for more Home Depot leaks to already come out, and it hasn't even been 24 hours since I uploaded my last video talking about these leaks. So if you haven't already, make sure to go watch my previous video talking about all these other animatronics that I won't be talking about in this video. But I'll still have a lot to talk about this video because there's a lot of stuff that has just been revealed. So without further ado, let's go check out these new photos. Up first, we have Chucky and Tiffany, and we did know that these guys were coming out, but I have to say these are probably what I would have expected. The Chucky doesn't look similar to the one that we already got, which is different because it's got a completely different face mold. It looks like something from a different movie as opposed to the one we saw. Of course, it's got the scars on the face. I think this is probably supposed to be like the one from Child's Play, the first Child's Play, so yeah. And then over on the other side, we have Tiffany that looks a lot like the movie, so they did a good job on that. We're not exactly sure what these animatronics do for movement, but I'm almost positive that they're both going to feature the same movement that the Chucky did last year. The servo Chucky with all the motion in the mouth, the eyes, the waist turns, and the arm moves. And I think this one actually has blinking eyes and also a smile, like it actually smiles, which is really cool. And actually there was supposed to be even more animation in the one last year because there was space for an eyebrow mech, so that is possible too, which would just be insane. Just so much animation, so Home Depot does a really good job on that. Now, someone in the comments of my last video actually mentioned that they wanted to see another Universal monster, and now we actually have that. We have the Frankenstein's bride here, which just looks amazing. And I'd imagine to go with the Frankenstein, this one is also going to have all the awesome servo movement, like in the head, the eyes, and the mouth, and the blinking eyes, and stuff like that. I think it'll look really cool. And yeah, it's definitely a neat addition to include with the Frankenstein, although I probably would have preferred a different Universal monster, specifically the creature from the Black Lagoon. That would just be amazing. Or even Dracula, those two would be great. But they are obviously still working with Universal, so that means all of those things are definitely possible in the future. Next, we have a much better photo of the 15-foot Scarecrow here. I'm still not loving the face, but I do now appreciate, and I can see a lot better the amount of detail on all the plastic parts of the rib cage and all of the other plastic blow mold parts. It just looks really incredible and lots of detail. But on the bottom here, we have these two witches. Now, we have like 2 witches or 3 witches like this every year from Costco, Home Depot, or something, somewhere. Now, but these ones, I think this is just a hunch, but they might possibly have moving and blinking eyes. If you zoom in on the eyes, they look a lot like Lethal Lily's eyes. Now, I don't know if it'll have blinking eyes or moving eyes or both, or maybe even a servo head, but I'm just hoping that these aren't just regular generic witch props like we get every single year, and be a little bit something more. Now, over here we have this leprechaun guy, and I think this is probably, this might actually be the leprechaun from the Leprechaun movie. I'm not sure. I think it might be, but I'm not 100% sure. I know Home Depot was able to do those types of licensings, but I'm just not sure that this is meant to be it. I mean, I think it would be, like, if you're making an evil leprechaun prop, I feel like that's what you would license it as. But yeah, it just doesn't look exactly like him. Like, the leprechaun in the movie doesn't have a huge beard, and this one definitely does. But with all that aside, I am interested to see what it does. Here we have a new angle image of the Ogre, and I absolutely love the giant club this guy has. Someone pointed out that he might be a Carnival Carl reskin, and I'm almost certain that he is now, because it looks like he has that same sort of stance, same sort of size, and he also has a club. Carnival Carl had a hammer, and this guy, I honestly love this guy much more than Carnival Carl. He's not as scary. He's a bit more on the goofy fantasy side, but he still looks really awesome. He's got some like weird eye positioning too, but that is of course all on purpose. But anyway, this guy is very impressive, and it looks like something Unit 70 would make. That's how awesome it looks. It looks like it should be pro, and it's in the retail industry, and it's going to be for an affordable price too. Hopefully, I might add. But yeah, Home Depot always does a good job with their prices. But yeah, just from seeing this image, this guy has already grown on me. Next, we have this pig butcher guy, and to be honest, this guy just looks a little bit too clean for me, if that makes sense. I just feel like this guy should be, like, drenched in blood and dirt and stuff, just to make him look a lot more creepy, but we don't usually see Home Depot doing blood, and that's probably because they're a big store, and a lot of people don't walk into Home Depot expecting to see a bunch of gore and stuff, so that might be one of the reasons why. But as you can see down there, this guy does have a pointing finger, which leads me to believe that this guy will be a soul slasher reskin, which is the one that was from last year, was a Scarecrow, and he had a pointing finger that he just, like, pointed up, and his head moved side to side, and he was a really good price as well. But yeah, that's basically my prediction for this guy, and if I were to get it, which I probably won't be, but if I were to, I'd probably just absolutely drench it in blood and stuff. Here we have a better image of the shark, and this guy just looks awesome. I do wish they just made his eyes all black instead of having to have glowing eyes, because shark eyes just don't look like that, and that just makes it a lot more cartoonish. So if I got this one, which I won't be because I cannot store this thing, but I would just paint the eyes black. But speaking of storing this thing, you can see the seams at which it would come apart as well, which is pretty cool. Here we have a better image of the zombie trio stack. Still not a big fan of these guys. Here we have a very amazing looking shadowy witch type of prop that has like this purple color scheme. That might just be the light, but I think it might also be the clothing as well. But it's got like necklaces of bones and just has so much detail. It's got the staff with a crow. It's got the digital eyes that the 12-foot skeleton had, like the cat type of digital eyes, or snake eyes, and the face just looks really, really creepy, especially from this angle with all the shadows on it. And yeah, I'd imagine this is probably going to have a lot of servo movement and type of stuff like that, because it is SVI, because we know based off the digi eyes. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. And then over on the side here, we have this doll riding a tricycle, but I'm very excited to see what this one does. This leak just came out while I was making this video, although one that says Haunt and Holly, they're just coming out as I'm making this video. So yeah, here we have a better look at this Raven Reaper type of prop. I actually missed this in the last video. It was in one of the photos, but it wasn't very visible. This guy does look like he's a Plague Doctor reskin, and he looks a lot like the Plague Doctor already too, just because of the beak. So it's just a little bit of a change up from the Plague Doctor. It's got the staff, it's got the lantern, and I'd imagine it's going to have the same animation, maybe a moving mouth as well, but we don't know. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. Still like the Plague Doctor quite a bit better, but yeah, this guy is probably going to be very similar to that, and it still looks pretty neat. Here we have the 12-foot skeleton cat, I believe, and this is for all the Facebook moms to enjoy probably, because I know I saw a lot of the 12-foot skeleton dog on there, and now all the cat people can have a 12-foot skeleton cat for their 12-foot skeleton as well. So yeah, that's pretty neat and very smart by Home Depot. Up here we have a new gargoyle, which is great because I wasn't fast enough to get the one from last year. And we also have this awesome looking catacomb sort of type of archway as well, which looks pretty neat and is very unique, and it's not as like normal as like a skull archway or a pumpkin archway. This is a lot more unique, and I think it looks a bit cooler as well. Now, I don't know if you can walk under this archway, but if it is an archway you can walk under, this gargoyle must be extremely huge, but I doubt that's the case. And last but not least, in the back here, we have the super ultra mega posable skeleton. No, that's just a joke. I don't know what this is, but it looks like the bones are rubber and are basically spaghetti, and you can like bend them in any way you want them. So yeah, that's a bit confusing and it's a bit awkward. Someone on Facebook pointed this out, but yeah, he's also got this like long spaghettified head. So yeah, I don't know what the vision was here. I don't know how people are going to use these, but yeah, it's interesting nonetheless. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and what are your thoughts on all of these new Home Depot animatronics? So many. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Doom out.